With the PS5 and Xbox Series XS establishing themselves as the current-gen systems, we get to see more prominent titles coming out. One such title is none other than Tekken 8. Tekken is one of gaming's longest-running fighting franchises, with millions of fans all over the world. So, before Tekken 8 comes out, why don't we take a look at the previous games and see which is best? For this particular list, we're talking only about the main series titles, no spin-offs and no ports either. But if you'd like to see a spin-off list, make sure to let us know in the comments section below. Welcome to HotFix Gaming. I'm Joy. Now, without further ado, let's get into our ranking of all Tekken's main games. Number 9. Tekken. The original Tekken was a trailblazer upon which all of the next titles had been possible, so of course there isn't much reason to disrespect the first game. However, it's hard not to look at those opening moments as a little bit bare bones compared to what the series has become. With just a handful of characters, a much slower pace, and arenas that aren't that interesting, the first game doesn't match up with what more recent ones have to offer. However, Tekken, taking clear inspiration from the already released Virtua Fighter, would revolutionize the fighting game scene. Opting for a button for each limb, Tekken created a control system that players could easily grasp, or at the very least could mash buttons to perform cool stuff. All legacies have to be built on a solid foundation, and Tekken 1 was just that. Number 8. Tekken 2. Tekken 2 took what the original had and built upon that foundation, with more characters to choose from and more moves for these characters. This title was also here when the boxing kangaroo and dinosaur duo of Roger and Alex were introduced, allowing the series to veer more into the comedic and ridiculous aspects that the franchise would be defined by in the future. All the changes and improvements to the overall formula proved to pay dividends, as Tekken 2 was nothing short of a critical and commercial success. It apparently was also responsible for professional goalkeeper David James's decline in quality during football matches, which is understandable given how fun the game was. Number 7. Tekken 6. Tekken 6 was a real achievement in visuals and innovative features for the franchise. In addition to more realistic character models, tighter controls, and expanded movesets, the sixth core game came with new ideas such as the rage system, bound states, and of course a handful of new characters with new moves. As for single-player content, the scenario campaign was such an awesome way to take our favorite characters through the world in a beat-em-up style. The main complaints regarding Tekken 6 were the final bosses and the absurdly long load times. It wasn't unheard of for players to be waiting up to half a minute on the get ready for the next battle screen in arcade mode, waiting for that next battle. However, if you're looking to play this game nowadays, you don't have to worry. With the Xbox Series XS, load times are so much better now. Number 6. Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 builds on the gameplay introduced both in the original tag game and Tekken 6. The bound mechanic has been updated to allow for tag combos, extending the amount of damage players can dole out, while players can now escape tag throws with unique animations playing out every time. While not much seemed to have changed between the first game and Tag Tournament 2, the main difference, and the one that impressed everyone, was the massive roster of fighters to choose from. You had 59 characters if you include the free update DLC characters, ranging from characters that originated in the first game to boss characters. Number 5. Tekken Tag Tournament. For many, Tekken Tag Tournament is a shining pinnacle for the series as a whole, and it's not hard to see why. Launching in arcades in 1999, Tag Tournament would receive updated graphics when being ported to the PS2 less than a year later, becoming a stellar standout during the greatest console of all time's infancy. Tekken Tag Tournament is such a well-loved and successful game that it was eventually ported to the PS3 as part of Tekken Hybrid, which included Tekken Tag HD, a demo for Tag 2, and the CGI movie Tekken Blood Vengeance. But the hybrid package couldn't quite match up to the incredible legacy of the original Tekken Tag, which is still considered a measuring stick for fighting games as a whole. Number 4. Tekken 4. Tekken 4 marked the transition into 3D games, which, of course, didn't age well. Tekken 4 isn't a necessarily bad game and has plenty of attributes to love, but the series had clearly established its brand of fast-paced 3D fighting in infinite arenas, while Tekken 4 introduced walls, hills, and other environmental obstacles to the fray. On the one hand, there's a certain novelty to seeing Paul and Law have a bit of a scrap on an escalator in a mall, and the larger arenas with multiple spawn points created more varied backdrops as a result. Plus, the walls would become a key part of Tekken's formula and hype going forward. History will look back on Tekken 4 as the first important step towards the improvements the series made going forward, but at the time, some saw it almost as a step backwards. Number 3. Tekken 7. Arguably the best fighting game that's active right now, and certainly the best 3D fighter on the market today, Tekken 7 is nothing short of a brilliant game. It deserves every ounce of praise it's received for its visual fidelity, incredibly balanced gameplay, vast array of content, and how it expanded upon the raid system. The reason why it's on the 3rd place and not the 1st is for what it didn't accomplish. Most of the cast took a back seat so that the Mishimas could hog the spotlight for the story mode and wedge Akuma into the lore. There was also a couple times where DLC characters nearly destroyed the online scene and broke the game. But still, even with that, Tekken 7 is as approachable as the series has ever been, while also retaining enough depth to reward longtime players. So if you're looking to start playing Tekken now, this might be the best title for you to try first. Number 2. Tekken 5. As the 5th mainline entry, Tekken 5 saw Namco find their feet with the new normal for Tekken, as well as introducing fan-favorite characters like Raven and the ability to customize your characters with new clothing and accessories. That customization has been featured in every Tekken game since, so you know it's a winner. Tekken 5 was a marvelous return to form, keeping flaws even while still reusing ideas like wall damage and stun variations from Tekken 4 and Advance, respectively. But there was more than just that perfect fighting action. Character models and environments were refined and looked significantly better than any of its predecessors. Every character had their own story mode, with an intro, mid-boss, and ending cutscenes. Number 1. Tekken 3. In no uncertain terms, Tekken 3 was a cultural landmark and a defining game for the PS1. Tekken 2 was already incredibly successful beforehand, but Tekken 3 really accelerated the series into the mainstream in a way that it's only now managing to replicate thanks to Tekken 7's longevity. Tekken 3 is one of the fastest games in the series, making for some incredible gameplay while introducing series favorite characters like Jin Kazama or modes like Tekken Ball. On Metacritic, Tekken 3 is tied 25th as one of the best reviewed games of all time at a score of 96. Matched by the likes of Half-Life 2, GTA 5, the original BioShock, GoldenEye for the N64, and the GameCube version of Resident Evil 4. It's an esteemed level of company and a level of success that's only been beaten by one other fighting game, Soul Calibur. As for sales, Katsuhiro Harada claimed on Twitter that the game sold 8.36 million copies in its initial run, which is just staggering for a fighting game. The only caveat is that Tekken 3 is a bit hard to get a hold of nowadays on account of it being a PS1 game. However, if you manage to grab one of those PS1 minis, you can play this title to your heart's content. Which Tekken game is your favorite? Let us know your ranking in the comment section below. And if you want more gaming content, why not check our video about the top 10 video game franchises that need reviving, or our 10 video game franchises with no bad games. Both videos are linked on screen.